Good morning, everybody. This is the Spoken Black Girl and Yoga with Alea Instagram takeover. We are gonna get some. We're gonna get some yoga going this morning. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I know for those of us that struggle with anxiety and depression, it can be really hard to get up and get moving in the morning, and especially now that our routines are all disrupted. We're not really used to having all the coping mechanisms that we rely on, kind of fall by the wayside. So I'm gonna lead us in a little yoga practice this morning, and that the purpose of that is threefold. One, because yoga is awesome, obviously. Two, because we want to get up and moving. And three, because I would love it if you guys could take away some techniques and practices that you feel safe with, while you have a little bit of a guide with you, so that hopefully you can start a home yoga practice and this will be a comfortable part of your routine going forward. So, yeah, ready to get it poppin'? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna kind of be back and forth between my mat, and if you don't have yoga props, that's okay. I grabbed a few things from around the house, so I have behind me, I have my mat, I have a throw blanket. You might want to get a pillow or a couch cushion or something like that. And if you have a yoga block, that would be awesome. Other things that you could use. Oh, okay. Rowana says I should pin my info. So my Cash App is Alea C. And I'm gonna have to tell her that I don't actually know how to pin anything because I am I'm a dinosaur. All right, but somebody will give me an Instagram crash course after this. So if you need a block, if you don't have a yoga block, which might be helpful, here I have a first aid kit. Basically, you want anything that's not gonna collapse on you. You could also use, because I know y'all been shopping online, you could also use a small box or a book or anything that's going to kind of give you that nice dense foam. Okay. All right, cool. And we'll go for about 45 minutes today. All right. And then you guys will give me some feedback on if that time frame works. You want to go a little longer, a little shorter. It's Monday morning. Yeah. All right, folks, so we're going to start in a nice, easy, comfortable seat. This would be a good place for your block or whatever you found to sit on goes on. If you have a cushion or a blanket, anything's good. I've been practicing yoga for a little while, so my knees come pretty flat. They come below my hips. But if your knees are kind of up like this when you sit, then just take whatever it is you found and just use it to elevate your seat so that your hips are above your knees. All right, and this will start to elongate the spine. And just close your eyes. It's Monday morning. And the fun thing about that is that doesn't mean what it used to mean, right? Like Monday morning and especially Sunday nights for me used to have all this anxiety around it with like all the expectations of the new week coming on. But now Monday is just another day, right? So however you're feeling, kind of draw the breath in, and where you have the bottom of your inhale, right? Or rather the top of your inhale, wherever you feel that you have the most breath contained in your body, just see if you can hold it for just a half second and notice where it's sitting. This will be different on a day-to-day basis. So sometimes your nose actually holds the breath. Sometimes it like stays right here in the throat. Today my breath is kind of just hanging out in this long line down my chest. Cool, exhale and let it go. One more time, just like that. We're gonna inhale. Notice where the breath is coming into the body. Exhale. Let it go. Good, one more time. Inhale. And then as you exhale, just draw the belly button in, and we wanna see if we can get the bottom of that exhale a little bit warmer. Forcing all the stale air out. And then take a nice natural inhale after that. Draw the shoulders up to the ears. Roll them down the back. Good, shoulders come all the way up. Roll them down. Good, one more time. Shoulders up. Roll them down. And you interlace the fingers. Press the hands out in front of you. and start to drop your forehead towards your chest. Good. We're going to start to exaggerate this movement. So inhale, take the arms up. You can leave the fingers interlaced. I'm turning to the side just so you can see what my spine is doing. So you got the fingertips, interlace them in front of you, press the hands out. You're going to start to drop your chin towards the chest, and your back will start to curve more into the C shape. And then as you inhale, take the arms up, chest comes forward, and fingertips reach up and back. So if you're familiar with yoga, this is kind of like that cat-cow position, except we're doing this seated. And we're using gravity for leverage here. Good. Exhale, press all the way out. Good. Inhale, arms up. Left arm comes down, right arm comes up and over for a side bend. Inhale, arms back up. Right arm goes down, left arm goes up. Good. Inhale, back up to center. Walk your fingertips out in front of you. So you can do this while you're still on the block if your hips are high. If you tend to have a lot of openness in your back, this is a nice fun exercise. I'm moving my props out of the way. Because if you're open in the back, you can slide your fingers out and see how low you can bring the chest. Beautiful. Walk your hands back up. Reverse the cross of the legs. And we're going to take that kind of cross-legged child's pose one more time. So walk the hands back out. While you're in your cross-legged child's pose, see if you can draw the shoulder blades down the back. Inhale to look up. Exhale, let all the air out using the space your belly just created. Sigh forward. Beautiful. Walking your hands back, tent the fingertips. So your fingertips are going to be like that. Right? So tent the fingertips, shoulders down the back. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, shoulders down the back. Exhale, round the spine. Good. Walk the fingertips back. Good. Now, hands can go on top of your thighs, your legs, your knees, whatever. They can even go to your belly if you like. I like them here because one of the things that you do a lot in yoga is, working with energy in the room. And if you feel like you want more energy, then you would hold your hands up. So if you feel like your energy level is a little low since you woke up, but if you're satisfied with the amount of energy that you have right now and you just want to keep it contained, which is important for those of us that are empathic and tend to pick up other people's stuff everywhere, then you put your palms down. So I tend to keep my palms face down because I pick up people's energy like people pick up germs, So, and then allow your eyes to close softly. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can just keep your gaze soft, find a space in front of you, ideally looking down and about a couple feet in front of you. And we'll set an intention for this morning's practice. And normally in class, you have the option that if you want to, set an intention for yourself or for others or for something going on in your life. But I would really love it if just for today, you keep this intention for yourself. So I think all tend to have the propensity to want to do for others. And today is about you. And maybe next Monday we'll talk about others. But for this week, I definitely want you to keep all of this here. You want to know why? Because you're the one who's on your mat at 8 o'clock in the morning. And you deserve all the love and the kindness and just the joy for this cause that you've made for yourself today. So whatever intention it is, whatever you want to bring more of into your life, let's bring that in. Hands either up or down on the thighs. And take an inhale and imagine that Going all the way down, drawing it towards the belly button, where the sacral chakra is, where the seat of our power and intention is. And then as you exhale, nice. Walk your hands forward. I'm gonna actually walk my legs back so I stay in camera. So walk your hands forward. You'll come into hands and knees. And if you have sensitive knees like I do, like already, my knees were like, oh no, 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 no. So you could just take, if you have a blanket, this is like a regular old throw blanket that I just grabbed off the sofa. So if you have a throw blanket or something, I just fold it in quarters so it's still kind of flat. And then I just put that right about the middle of my mat. And like I said, you still want it kind of flat, but you also don't want it too big, because you see now that it's under my knees, like I can still plank over it. I can still step over it. So then I don't have to move it around too much. So cool. So this is like the right amount of cushion for my knees. Back to our cat-cow position. We're going to take that same motion. So we're going to inhale, look up. Exhale as you round, using the space your belly creates to see if you can find your belly button underneath you. Inhale one more time. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Good. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, round. Inhale, look up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, child's pose. Good. Last one. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, forward to a neutral spine. And then hold. No child's pose on this one. What we'll do is we'll take the right arm, bring the right arm straight up in the air, thread it all the way through so that you leave your hips high in the air, your cheek comes down to the mat. Now if you want a little bit more of a twist here, you're going to walk the left arm forward. So for anybody that's following us that's expecting a little one, right? Then just, we're going to back off the twist and keep the twist open. So just, especially if you're in your second trimester and beyond, just keep the twist kind of in the upper body, and we won't do too much compression of the baby ear, okay? If you're not expecting and you feel comfortable twisting, go for it, okay? Hey. Oh, look. Hi, everybody. It's so fun to like see everybody jumping into the chat. This is awesome. I love it. Beautiful. Come back up to center. Left arm comes up this time and threads all the way through. And like I said, if you want a bit more, then you walk the right arm further forward. Exhale and twist. I'm looking up because I'm used to being able to see everybody in class, and I'm like, oh no, like I just look up and it's just me again. All right, so you can come out of your twist. Beautiful. All right, so you'll come back out of your twist into this all fours position. Tuck the toes, and we're gonna lift the hips back and up into our first downward facing dog. So for this one, I want you to keep the knees bent, and you're gonna press back as much as you can, like a dog doing a stretch. Inhale, coming forward to a plank. Exhale, you bend the knees, press all the way back. So we're getting that triangle shape, but the knees are bent. And this should make it a little bit easier for the spine to go nice and long. Good. Exhale, come forward to a plank. Beautiful. Breathe back one more time. Downward facing dog, knees bent. And I don't know if you can see my toes, but my toes are like, I'm going to crawl a bit forward so that you can see what my feet are doing. So I'm up on my tiptoes as I bring the knees back, right? Good. And then back into your plank. Drop the knees, chest and chin down to the mat, leaving your hips up high in the air. So this will feel a little awkward, but it should also feel pretty nice on your lower back. Like, I know I'm on the right position when I start want to go, ooh. You'll feel some mobility in the lumbar spine. And then slide the hips down. Legs come straight on the mat. Inhale up, baby cobra. Good. Exhale, bring the forehead back down to the mat. Palms under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. And this time we'll begin to straighten the legs. So once you start to straighten the legs, that first downward dog of the day is always like, whoa, your hamstrings, your calves, everything. You don't realize how like much it starts to hold overnight. So whatever feels good here, we're gonna hold this downward dog for a couple more breaths so you can pedal out your feet. You can shake your hips from side to side. And then if you want, you can roll forward to plank and then back again one more time. So, and you'll start to feel these muscles lengthen as we continue our practice. Beautiful. The next segment that we're going to get into is a few sun salutations, which you've probably heard the term sun salutations before. I love teaching sun salutations in remote yoga classes because they're really rhythmic and they're simple and they're pretty much all the poses we've been doing already. We're just going to put them together. So if you want to have a home yoga practice and you don't know where to start, a sun salutation is always a great place to start because it kind of gets the circulation going in the entire body. And it's a relatively short practice. It's designed to be short because you're supposed to do 108 of them a day. If you actually do 108 of them, you know, like hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you something special. If you tell me you did 108 of them, I'll send you something special anyway because I will just have to believe you. I haven't done, I mean, I've done 108 maybe in my whole life, but not in one sitting. I don't even know how long that would take. All right, cool. So to get into our sun salutations, from your downward facing dog, you're going to step the right foot forward. Now, if the right foot doesn't make it all the way between the hands, say it stops right here, drop the left knee and help the right foot all the way forward because we totally want that angle, that 90-degree angle. The knee is going to stay behind the ankle. Awesome. So left leg is going to be straight again. We're going to step the left leg forward, and we're in the standing forward fold. Inhale to look up. Spine is going to come as flat as you can. Stick your butt out behind you. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, taking the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. And then release them to the side. So this will be the foundation of our pose, right? I'm just turning so you can see anatomically what's happening. You're gonna have your toes together, heels slightly apart. Draw the kneecaps up, tailbone tucks down. Hips are gonna try to stay level with one another and directly underneath the shoulders. Belly button in, shoulders down and back. Hands front facing front and chin is parallel to the mat. Beautiful, that's Tadasana, mountain pose, right? Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, reaching for the toes. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. So we've done a lot of warm-ups. So I'm going to go into the traditional sun salutation. You're going to step the right leg back. Left leg comes back to meet it for a plank. Gorgeous. Inhale and drop the knees, chest and chin. Exhale, sliding the hips back, baby cobra. This should feel familiar. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. And we'll take 5 breaths here. You may notice a little bit of tension in the calves. That's where mine is living this morning. Maybe in the hamstrings. So if that's so, just kind of send your breath to those areas and be really gentle with them. Beautiful. Look forward. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Remember, if it doesn't make it all the way, you drop the knee, you help it forward, and then you come back. Beautiful. Step the right leg forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise up. Head is the last thing to come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. Samati Stiti. And we're ready to start again. Inhale, take the arms over. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step the left leg back this time. Right leg follows to come to a plank. Now, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you're always welcome to do knees, chest, chin. If you're expecting or have other reasons that you don't want to twist or bend your spine, you can even drop into a cat-cow and then go back to downward dog. If you want a little bit more, what we're going to do is just lower to a push-up. Inhale to an upward facing dog. So in those two poses, your belly never touches the floor. And then tuck the toes for downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Gorgeous. Hang on to your downward dog for another 2 breaths. I'm just peeking in to make sure we haven't had any questions. Cool. All right. I'm going to assume everybody is alive and doing well out there in Instagram land. All right. Beautiful. One more just like that. So from our downward dog, look forward between the hands. And you can step, or if you really want and you feel comfortable, you can jump forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale them back to Anjali Mudra in front of your heart. Last round of sun salutations. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, you can step on back to that plank. If you have it in your practice and you want to jump, feel free to jump. Good. I'm going to take another chaturanga. So exhale down to that push-up. Inhale up to your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Or just look forward between the hands. Hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands back in front of the heart. Awesome. All right, so I feel like we've been doing a lot of back bending work today, so we're going to actually go with one more back bend. So I want you to shift your weight into your... I'm going to try and see what the best angle to do this from is. So you're going to shift your weight into your left foot. Get really nice and stable on the left foot. And lift up the right foot. With your right hand, you're going to reach back and catch the inside of the foot. Now, this might be totally fine. You might want to just hang out here for a little bit. If you want more and you want to challenge your balance and also your back bend, we're going to keep the bend up in the thoracic spine, remember? You're going to start to kick back into that foot. So this is dancer pose. So notice what's going to happen is immediately my shoulder is going to want to come back. I'm going to keep my shoulder in line with the other shoulder. So the stretch is happening along the spine, whoop, and as I'm kicking back that leg. Now, if you want some balance, you'll extend that arm out in front of you. So this arm goes out forward, kick, 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 and make sure the shoulder's not sneaking out. And then the other thing you want to do is once you feel like you've gotten some full extension on that leg, you're going to start to bring the knee in. And that's going to make it challenging all over again, so you may have to re-kick, kick, 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 kick. Beautiful. If you have something in front of you, like a chair or a wall or anything else you want to hang on to, feel free. And gently release that foot down to the mat. And we're going to do the other side. So, once again, you get a chance to see it from the other side. Shifting your weight into your right foot. Left leg, you come up, catch the inside of the left leg. Well, that'll tell you right there if you have your balance. So wait till you're really truly like centered. Part of the reason I'm not able to balance today, other than the fact that, you know, I'm not able to balance today, is I'm watching myself in the camera to make sure you can see me. So find something to look at that's not going to move. I'm going to talk you through it, so just find some spot on the wall that won't move. So the camera is not a good option. Right arm extends in front of you. Left arm starts to draw back. Begin to move the left knee in towards the right knee, and then start to kick, 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 kick. Beautiful. 3 more breaths here. And exhale, release the foot down to the mat. Very, very nice. Good. Draw the hands back behind you. Shoulders roll up and back. And start to slide them down your back as you take the chest forward. Good, looking up. Good, exhale, folding forward. One last time, we're gonna step back to plank. Lower through our chaturanga. Inhale to look up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg high up high up in the sky behind you. And then we're gonna step the right leg through and across. So this pose is called broken triangle. Now you can't see my left foot, but I'm gonna pivot onto the edge of the left foot so I have support. Lift the hips first. Left arm will come up and extend towards the ceiling. Good. I don't know if I could do this, but I'm gonna try. If you're feeling fancy, there you go. You can lift that right leg. And that's gonna be a challenge for the obliques, which apparently mine are shot. So I gotta get back on my mat more. Good. And you'll come back to center. And when you're ready, and if you feel like you need to reset, you can always drop the knees, take a sip of water, do whatever you need to do in between poses. Sometimes it feels good to kind of just move the spine and get like your weight evenly distributed between your hands again. So then I would take a vinyasa there. Right. And then get ready for the other side. Good. Left leg comes up high behind you. Left leg goes across. You might be able to, no, you still can't see the right foot, but you can see my butt. So you're gonna pivot onto the edges of the feet so you have support, reaching up with the right arm. And then if you like, and you did it on the other side, maybe you want to try lifting that left leg. Each side is going to be different, which I'm sure you've noticed already. So for me, it's definitely more challenging to lift my left leg than it is to lift my right. Good. Return back to your downward facing dog. Drop your knees. And come on back to child's pose. Lovely. All right, we're gonna take our blankets back on the mat. If you move them, I had to move mine for the last sequence. And coming to your knees, we're gonna work on a little bit more of a back bend here. I think this will be the last really intense back bend for the class. So, hands on your hips. Start to walk them back, fingers facing up, so that your shoulders are moving behind you, elbows are facing backwards, and your hands are supporting your sacrum and your lower spine. From here, you'll look up. Shoulders roll back, nose and chin going up. This is the prep for camel pose. Now, this may be plenty. I remember when I started my yoga practice, this was like lights were going off behind my eyes and I was like, whoa, I'm dizzy. So if you're feeling dizzy or lightheaded, just, hey, you did it. That's it. You're pushing yourself. Nice job. Just stay there. If you want more, if you come from, say, a dance background or you practice yoga regularly and you have a little bit more openness in the spine, then you want to start to walk the hands down the buttocks, down the back of the leg, and maybe this is enough. And if you want more, then you reach back for the ankles. Nose comes backwards, hips come forward. Now, if you're coming out of this, you're going to tuck your chin to your chest, and then the chin will come down. And I tend to come around to the side because it feels a little easier on the spine. But if you can bring yourself straight back and up, then you'll come big. But the primary thing is just to protect your neck by tucking the chin to the chest. Beautiful. Arms come out in front of you. Top of the head to the mat. And we'll take a breath. She's crying. Oh no. Like, don't cry. Ah! All right. I'm like, I feel terrible. I'm like, oh no, I killed Rowana. Like, all right, we're gonna take one more round of that camel pose. So just inhale, chest opens. I don't know if she's crying because it's like too stressful or like emotion is coming up, but that's one thing that happens in backbending classes, because backbends are heart openers, right? So like the more you get this space open, like what do we do when we're stressed out? We tend to go like this, right? We tend to, like, this is the classic like hiding under the pillows or hiding under the covers, and like, you know, everything we want to do is to shut off and protect this area, because look how much vulnerability there is in this area, right? Your breasts are here, your heart is here, your lungs are here, your throat is here. Like, it's a good, healthy cry. Oh, yes. Oh, I love this girl so much. Oh, if anybody's starting to feel emotional, it's perfect. It's perfect. Wherever you are is absolutely perfect. And this is just what comes from starting to release these emotions that we calcify in our body. All right, I love y'all so much. Okay, if you're still in camel pose and you're just chilling out in that back bend, come on out of it and take your counter pose. So you bring your forehead down to the mat, or the crown of your head to the mat. Oh, I love it. Beautiful. All right, and let's get into the floor work. Good. Legs will extend right in front of you. Flex the feet back towards your nose and start to walk your hands forward. Now, whatever part of your legs are accessible, your block might be helpful here. So your block, you can, if you have two, even better, because you can put them on either side of your feet. If you only have one, then you'll put them on top of the legs so that you bring the legs or the floor a little bit closer to you, right? Also, another prop that would be great to have, a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can use a belt or anything really. Like, look, I'm about to steal the strap off my gym bag. Yeah, so I totally just stole the strap off my gym bag. So there's so many different ways to work with this pose. You can use a strap here and then draw the shoulders up and back, because what we care about more than touching the feet is we actually care about elongating the spine. We're gonna hang out here for a second, so I'm gonna show you a couple different variations of this so you can see what my spine is doing, right? Because you guys are a captive audience, so you have no choice but to listen to me talk while I put you in pretzels. So look at what happens here, right? I'm trying to reach for it. You see how my back is all like not happy, right? Get the strap. Get the strap. Every black person on this call just got triggered. It was like, oh no. Like, draw the shoulders up and back, right? And you see how the spine is starting to come nice and long, and then the elbows just fold out to the side, and I can prioritize the length of the spine as I start to come forward. Now, if that's way too easy, then you can actually take your block. Remember, we had the block to make life a little easier. You can use the block to make life a little harder. Put it behind the feet. And my hamstrings are screaming, so I'm not going to demonstrate that anymore. So yoga does a lot of work on the physical and the energetic body, right? And drawing my knees in towards, I'm keeping the spine nice and long as we come into Baddha Konasana. So if you're starting to feel emotionally vulnerable in a yoga class, right, these forward folds are kind of a good way to counteract that, right? Because this is a very vulnerable posture. So back bends make your heart literally open, and forward bends keep you safe. So this is a good one for empaths as well. When you feel like you're kind of starting to emotionally get away from yourself, any forward fold is going to bring you right back into yourself. Awesome. Extending the legs one more time in front of you. The right knee is going to bend. Right foot goes on the outside of the left thigh. Arms go up in the air. Now you got two variations of this. You can keep this leg extended, or you can bring it around if you want a little bit deeper of a twist. Right? I actually like this better just because it keeps my spine straighter, so it's actually easier for me. Right, left arm goes up. Hook it over the knee and look behind you. And again, if we have any expecting mamas, we don't want to take this deep of a twist in the belly, so we're just going to open our twist to the opposite side. Cool. Any expecting mamas that are already here, everyone else is going to join you by taking the counter twist here. So use the left hand to anchor you as you press, 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 press. Beautiful. Legs out in front. Left knee bends, comes to the outside of the right thigh, flexing the foot towards you or taking the leg into your pretzel position. Left arm up in the air, hook it over the right knee and looking over the right shoulder. Oh, I'm sorry, looking over the left shoulder and the right shoulder if you're expecting. I was like, something about that felt easy. Gorgeous. Good. Swing the legs around behind you, coming onto the belly. And we worked with our dancer pose, so we're going to take the same shape on the floor, except we'll take both legs. So this will be bow pose if you're familiar with it, Dhanurasana. Reaching back. This time, instead of catching the inside of the feet, we're going to catch the outside of the feet. Same rules apply. Find a steady point where you're connected with the mat. Look forward. Draw the knees in together. You can use your block for help here if you just need a reminder of how far apart your hips are. And then kick back into the hands to lift the spine. And exhale, release down to the mat. One more bow. Inhale, draw the shoulders up and back. And exhale, release the opposite cheek down to the mat. Legs extend. Hips move side to side. Wiggling out anything that might have accumulated in your lower back. All right, and we're getting ready to come into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So, few options here. If you're just like, all right, forget it, I'm done, I'm going into Shavasana, that is always a good option. In my class, if you want to start and finish class in Shavasana, I'm very happy about it. So if you want to go straight into Shavasana, that's awesome. If you want to take a little, any motions that you want to get out of the way because you feel like maybe something's accumulated in your body, especially with that last bow pose, I tend to have a little tension in my lower back. So nice little simple twist might do the trick. Maybe you want it a little bit more, so maybe you come into a shoulder stand. Maybe you come to a happy baby. So whatever you want to do, you have about a minute. And while you're getting all the final motion out, for the third category of people that have stuff all over their house and want to get into a little bit of a yoga pose to finish off class, Shavasana is great. I always love to end class in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is a reclining bound angle pose. So I stole one of the cushions off my couch. If you have a yoga bolster or anything like that, that's what we're trying to mimic. If you have a really thick blanket, you could fold it up a couple times. So I'm gonna lay this lengthwise on my mat, right? Couch cushions would probably work too, but you might need like 2 throw pillows, so just so that you want to support the entire length of the spine, right? And then I'm going to take my blanket and I'm going to roll it up so that it's nice and long and thin, right? So I've kind of made like a rope with it. Alrighty, and then I'm going to use this underneath my ankles. So I'm like tying up my ankles with it, and then I'm just taking the rest of it and bunching it underneath my thighs so my thighs have some support, and then coming to lay back here. So this will kind of cap off all that heart opening work that we've been doing with kind of a gentle heart opener. It's supported, and it should feel really, really yummy. When you lay back, it should just be like, oh, yes. So wherever you are, if this isn't it, if this doesn't do it for you, find a spot where you're like, oh. Like for me, this is totally it. And we're going to come back to that visualization we had at the beginning of class. So find your breath and see if the space that your breath is inhabiting is different now. So as I inhale, I'm noticing that in this position, my breath no longer comes all the way down into the chest. It's starting to like kind of hang out up here in the throat. So as you inhale, exhale completely. And allow your face to soften, your eyes to close. Release any tension that you're holding in the temple, the brow, the cheeks. Allow the tongue to separate from the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. Relax the chin. Let the shoulders melt backwards into the mat. Allow the arms to join with the floor wherever they meet it, as if you were trying to settle through the floor. The belly is soft. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Imagine that that breath comes down into your stomach like a warm golden light, spreading down into the pelvis, the hips, down the front of the thighs, across the knees, down the shins, the ankles, the toes. Let your limbs be heavy and soak into the mat. The feeling of being half drawn into the floor, almost the way you would in a pool when you're floating on your back and you're kind of half in the water and yet on top of the water. Feeling the sensation of warmth and light and air on your face. And let's return to that intention that we set at the beginning of class. Imagine that you're a magnet, and the energy around you in the air is like those little iron shavings we used to play with in grade school that all used to stand up and kind of fly to the magnet when they were together. All the energy that you've put into today's practice, find a moment of thankfulness for yourself, just acknowledgement of the work that you put in this morning. And then dig underneath the acknowledgement to see if you can find pure gratitude. Inhale and exhale. And the energy that you've created, see if you can track down every ounce of your energy that has been generated in this class and draw it into your hands, into your belly, into your heart, in through the nose, exhale, and take 2 more breaths. If you could see the color of this energy that you generated, imagine that all of that stays in and all you exhale is fresh, clean air. Allow your forehead to soften. If you're in bound angle pose, start to draw your knees together with the help of your hands. Remove the blanket, extend the legs, and come to meet us in a supported Shavasana. Start to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, inviting movement back into your body. Shake the head back and forth, up and down. Interlace the fingers and press them out above your head in a good morning stretch, arching the spine. And then roll to your right side. Using the strength of your left arm, when you're ready, press yourself into a comfortable seat. And give you a way to cheat. If you don't feel like coming out of your pose just yet, you don't have to. I can't see you. If you are ready to close your practice, take a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart. And I'm actually going to close with the sound of the bell. The world has changed. And despite us being physically distant, we walk this path together. Your breath is your best friend. Take your breath, your intention, and your power forward with you into your day and into whatever awaits you. I am so impressed with all of you for joining us this morning. Thank you. This will be the first of many classes. We will be here every Monday morning at 8 a.m. celebrating and supporting you. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be your teacher this morning and to hold and create this space with you. The light in me is enlivened and emboldened by the light in you. Namaste, yogis.